Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Repetitions and Routine day number 51. We are back into our ISO/yoga inspired session. So all you need is a mat. We are not going to be doing the exact same things that we did last time. The way that I format and get through a yoga session is kind of just whatever feels like the next thing that would feel nice within the flow or feel like a great place to transition into, which I know is not true yoga, but this is just yoga inspired. So please do not get too hung up on the fact that this is 100% yoga. So hopefully you can be barefooted, which would be fantastic if you could. And we're going to start our isometric flexions standing. So set your feet right underneath your hips, lift your toes up for me, and then try to spread them apart. And then set your toes gently back down. You're going to find the big toe ball mound of your foot, the pinky toe ball mound, and then both sides of your heels. And then try to make sure that your feet are pretty straight ahead. So if you look at your second toe, it should be pointing straight ahead. Your heels feel just a little wider than the ball of the foot, the big toe ball of the foot. Knees track right on top of that. Then your hips, tuck the pelvis, hold the core in strong. Some of us have different types of deviations. Most everyone is going to end up with an anterior tilt, meaning their pelvis tilts forward. But so with that, you would want to get that little tuck back. So the tailbone is reaching toward the ground, the belly button draws in. Possibly you have too much of a posterior tilt, so you would want to tilt it forward just a bit. But make sure the tailbone's pointing straight down, the belly's drawn in, the rib cage is lifted, shoulders back and down, and then I want you to try to contract into the back, tighten through the core, flex through the quads. So feel like you're rooting in through the ground, dragging in through the core, bracing in through the back. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And then we're going to hold here. Look up at your hands if you can. Contract and retract your shoulder blades down the spine. Your hands are super flexed and fixed, reaching your fingertips wide. If you can breathe in and out your nose, that would be great. Keep feeling your back, keep feeling the core, feeling that rib cage. And then drop your hands out to the side, still stay flexed, roll the shoulder blades back and down. So isometrics means hugging muscle to the bone. So we are actively flexing. You're trying to find all the muscles, your biceps, triceps, forearms, fingers, back, core, glutes, quads, and then all wrapped around through your shins and calves and into your feet. Hinge forward from your hip creases. Keep the arms nice and wide. Hinge, hinge, hinge. We're going to stop halfway. Grab the core, lengthen your tailbone back. Tuck your chin a little. Squeeze between your shoulder blades. Squeeze, squeeze. Hold flexion through the core. Flex into those thighs. Get those arms working. Grab and hold through the back. Stay strong and flexed. And then exhale and plant the hands all the way down on the ground. If you're not able to plant onto the ground, go ahead and bring your hands up to your shins. We still want to contract in through the back. Keep a soft knee for me, still planting into the four corners of your foot. I actually like how this feels for me as well, planting my hands onto my shins. I feel my core contract. I have traction then as I'm pushing into my shins. I feel my shoulder blades drive down and contract. Feel the triceps. Feel the core. Feel my glutes grabbing and gripping, pushing those heels into the ground. Stick with it. Hug your muscle to the bone. Perfect. All right, grab through the core. Bring those arms out nice and wide again. Hug in through the shoulder blades. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your arms up with you. We'll take just a little stretch. Grab your left hand. Keep the core locked. Pull to the side. Inhale up. Grab your right hand, pull to the side. All right, let's go ahead and take a stand at the back of our mat. Hinge forward over those legs again, grabbing deep into the core, and then we're going to walk ourselves forward. Point your first finger straight ahead, nice big spread open fingertips. Drive your hips up and back, slide the shoulder blades down, drop your heels to the ground. So we're in a downward facing dog. I want you to feel your armpits suck up. So grab in up through the armpits. You should feel the back engage. Point your tailbone straight back from the crown of your head so that it's lengthened and neutral, right? So you're not sagging in the low back. So pull the belly button tight, wrap through the rib cage. Pull your kneecaps up toward your hips. Drop your heels to the ground. So feel triceps, feel back, feel core, feel quads. Hug the muscles to the bones. Suck it in, tighten it deep, hold on to it. Contract, contract. Wrap around those thighs. Take one more deep inhale for me. Exhale, come forward. We're going to go into a plank. Just a high plank. Wrap your elbows back toward your toes. So that's torque in the arms. Feel the back engage again. Suck in through those armpits again. Find the triceps. Tighten up deep through the belly, tucking your tailbone. Feel those quads. Tuck and tighten, tighten and tuck. Hug those muscles to the bone. Come on. So find traction, hands pull back toward toes. If you're flexing enough, the shake will start. All right, and then drop onto your knees. Bring your hands back so that you're directly over your palms with your shoulders. Again, you want that torque. Pull the elbows back toward the knees, and you want your knees right underneath the hips. And we are going to do our transverse draw. Okay, so grab your core. You want your back to stay neutral, and I want you to hold and tuck and tighten your low belly, the rib cage, and the pelvic floor. See if you can find your inner thighs, your outer thighs. Your big focus here, though, is that abdomen. Feel like you've got a vacuum sucking in, drawing together. Keep contraction and control through the pelvic floor. Those are your crotch muscles. Those are super important and deep, deep core muscles. Help keep that pelvis in place. They do help tone the core as well. Arms are shaking. Don't lose the belly. Couple more deep breaths. Okay, stay here, or we're going to add into it. Just lift your knees barely off the ground. Bear pose. Stay with that traction. Pull the hands back towards your toes. Keep dragging the rib cage up. Make sure you didn't lose your low back. Isometric contraction. We're not just holding the body in space, we're flexing in. Hold, flex, contract, tighten, pull, pull, pull. One more breath. And then push your hips up and back. Walk those hands forward a little bit again. We're back into our downward facing dog. I'm not going to stay here as long. Hold on deep through the core. Remember, if any of these options, any of these poses don't work for you, just back yourself up to where you had something that did work. Even if you're holding your transverse draw or a bear or the mountain pose, for the whole duration of the set. You're still going to get really good work done. So find what you can, engage, flex, and tighten. Practice flexing into those muscles. All right, bring yourself back forward over the wrist. Tuck your tailbone, belly strong. If you need to drop onto your knees, you can. Bring your shoulders forward just a little more. And we're going to drop into a little chaturanga hold. Tuck your tailbone. Push yourself up. Drive yourself back. Take a deep breath. Push yourself forward again. Tuck the tailbone. Drop in. 3 breaths. Tuck your thighs. Wrap that core. And then drop all the way down onto your belly. All right, release your hips, release your hands, lay on one ear. Just shake out your hips a second. Let your hands and shoulders relax. All right, we are going to do a quad isometric grab. So go ahead and come back to where your head is lifted up off the ground. Roll the shoulder blades together. In fact, if you can push the backs of your hands into the ground, you'll get some activation there too. Push into your toes as much as you can. Get those quads grabbing. Tuck your tailbone. Lock the core. Slide the shoulder blades. Feel those quads. Push your toes into the ground as much as you can. Tuck your chin. You shouldn't feel any pressure in the low back. You're squeezing your upper shoulder blades together, so the upper back, your core. And time. Drop down. Release your feet. Shake your hips again. You can turn your ear to the other side. I'm staying on this side so I don't jack up my earbud thing. Whew. All right. Next up, I think this is called the locust pose. You're going to grab your hands behind your back and tuck your chin. Now, grabbing behind doesn't work for everybody, so if you need a little towel or t-shirt, that's fine. You can also just hold your hands up in the air. So you're going to tighten and grab through your back, triceps, tuck your chin, lift your legs as well this time. So lift up the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, feel the glutes, feel your thighs, feel the core. Hold on to it. Build the shake. And release. All right. Press into your hands. Let's go ahead and come up through our chaturanga push-up into the plank, back into your downward facing dog. Drive those heels down to the ground. Contract the core, contract the back. Okay, lift your left leg and bring it up outside your left hand. Go ahead and drop onto the back knee for now and release the toes. Both arms come up, and then you want to find traction. So you're pulling your back knee forward, your front knee back. Lift up through the arms, engage the back, feel the tailbone tuck, belly button draw in. In fact, if you look down at your belly button, that will help engage and tuck, get the pelvis in the right spot. So tuck in, feel there. I'm going to pull my foot back just a little. Feel that tuck, hold it there, lift back up, squeeze shoulder blades, flex arms, flex legs, find that traction. You might feel some good stretch front of that hip flexor as well. Hold on to it. You're pushing that front left leg into the ground, pulling back, tightening the core, tightening through the back. Hold, hold, hold. Okay, open the arms, twist over that front leg. Keep your traction. Flex as many places as you can. You should feel your left oblique. Relax in the neck. Bring your arms back up overhead. 2 more breaths. And then plant your hands. Whew. Drive that left foot back. Hold your plank a couple breaths. Drop down into your chaturanga. Push back up. Remember, just hold whatever pose you liked. Drive back to the down dog. Whew. It's your job. It's your effort level. It's up to you how much self-flexion you get. Belly strong. Slide those shoulder blades. Bring your right leg forward outside your right hand. Drop your back knee onto the ground. Find your flexion. Find your traction. Arms come back up. Relax through the neck. Engage in the back. See if you can pull your biceps back behind your ears or close. Look down at that belly again. Get that tuck. Hold it there. And then breathe. Focus on the body. Focus on flexions into the muscles. Exhale and open out to the right. Flex and contract. So if somebody was to come up and tap and jiggle and shake your muscles, you have everything so contracted and flexed that nothing jiggles. That's what we're going for. That's the mental concept. That's how we get that isometric flexion. Okay, bring that right arm back up and around. Plant your hands. Bring that right leg back. Hold your plank. Tuck and flex and tighten everything. Shift forward. Drop down. Hold your chaturanga. Tuck your tailbone. Push back up. Drive back. Downward facing dog. Relax through the neck. Pull the elbows back toward the toes. Reach that tailbone long. Grab tight through the core. All right, shift yourself forward. Grab deep into the core again. And then tuck your left knee in toward your left arm. Flex your foot. Tighten the core, tighten the triceps. Then bring your leg and plant it all the way inside both hands. Whew. All right, drop your back heel down at an angle. So depending on where you're at in flexibility and strength, then your stance will be a little narrower. So already you are in flexion, okay? Left leg grabbed, quad grabbed, this front leg, did I say left leg? Both legs are grabbed. Lock into the belly. You're going to take your right arm up forward first, then lift up off the ground and open into what is known as your warrior two. So extend long through the arms. Pretend somebody's pulling your arms away from you. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to look at that belly again. That's going to help tuck, put the pelvis in place, drive into the outer edge of that back right foot, sink into your front thigh so that the knee is tracking toward the pinky toe side of your foot. You should be able to see your big toe right inside your left knee. Keep those arms extended and then try to drag your feet together. So you're trying to scrunch your mat underneath. Where's the core? Flex, flex, flex. Hug those muscles to bone. Okay, we're going to take a push. Bring your arms together, push to the front leg. Lift nice and high. Still contract. Hold flexion through the quads, through the core, through the back. Exhale, drop back down. You're going to inhale, take your top hand or left hand, lift it, and then rotate it back. Slide your other arm down the leg, flex the legs, flex the core, flex the arms. Relax your neck, lift the chest, relax your toes, flex the legs. Come back forward, bring your right arm forward, down, shift your hips, drop your back knee onto the ground, and then shift back. Just going to take a nice little stretch here first. Grab your core. Push the shoulders away from the ears. All right. Bringing it back in. Plant into your hands. Take your back knee up off the ground. Bring your left foot up. Hold the knee forward. Set it back. Bring your right knee in. Hold. Flex that foot. You can flex more muscles, I know it. And then plant. Whew. Turn your back foot to the ground. Find your alignment. That front heel is right inside of the back inner arch. Make sure that you've already got your legs flexed, core strong. My arm is shaking. Lock the belly. Bring the left arm up first, forward, back, and around. Check in with the placement of your knee. You should be able to see your front big toe. Take it a little lower if you'd like. Try to track your knee right on top of the heel. Let's look at our belly button. Feel the hips tuck in and get into place. And then lift back up. Roll those shoulders back. Traction. Remember, you're trying to pull the mat together. Tighten through the hamstrings. Keep the pelvis tucked. Flex through the legs. Drive your body up. Lift up through the arms. Relax through the neck. Tuck in through the hips. Grab your thighs, quads. And then exhale, lower back down. Flexion, flexion. Turn your front hand. Slide it back. Grab the core. So you're not planted on the back hand. In fact, if you want to lift it up, that'll help make sure. Open the chest, grab those thighs. Bring your body back forward. Open that chest. Pinwheel your arms all the way around. Turn your back foot. Lift that front foot up. Hold it in. Plant your back foot. Drop down into that chaturanga. Drive up. Press back. Hi. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. All right. Drive your hands back into the shins. Open the chest. Feel your feet spiral into the ground. Feel your quads grab. Lift the kneecaps up. Drive your shoulder blades down. Feel that core engage. Hold strong and steady. Flex, tighten, tighten, flex. Hold on to it. Grab the core. Bring your arms out wide. Back contracts. Core, arms. Rotate your shoulder blades back. Drive all the way up. Arms come with you. Okay, make sure that your feet are in position. Remember, everything's set, right? Your back is still strong, core still strong, arms still strong. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Engage through those calves. Keep your pelvis in place. And then you're going to slowly sink down. So heels stay up. Keep your knees pulled toward one another. And then stop about at the point that your thighs are parallel to the ground. And push all the way back up. Plant. Woo! Drop your arms down. All right, and then we're going to flip it over. Whew. All right, lie all the way flat onto the ground. Bring both legs up. Push your low back into the ground. Connect again in through your thighs. So this may be your position. And if this is too much, if you're not able to get your legs straight, then hold here with the tabletop position. So you are self-flexing the core, pushing and pulling your arms to the ground. Otherwise, we're going to go for a little, I think it's called a shoulder stand. But you want to grab through the belly, push into those hands, pulling your toes back behind your head, and then driving up off the ground until you can support your low back with your hands. So drive your elbows into the ground. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. Can you feel your calves? Can you feel your quads? Can you feel your hamstrings, your glutes? How about the upper back? Because your shoulders are open, pressed into the ground. The elbows are pushing, pushing, pushing. Grab deep through the core. Flex and hold, hold and flex. Stay strong. Bend both knees slowly back. Hold flexion through the core. Big core, big core. And then hold. Keep those hips right on top of the shoulders or as close as you can. Lock the belly, press into those elbows. Push your legs back up straight. We're going to hold just a couple more breaths. It's really good to get the blood flowing the other way through those legs. Okay, slowly, slowly, slowly start dropping your hips back down to the ground. Use the core. Don't relax all the muscles and flop. Slowly, your head's going to come up. Low back pushes into the ground. Drop your legs just as low as you can, keeping the low back into the ground. Extend the arms overhead. Your head is up off the ground. Chin is tucked. Pull your knees in. Relax your head. Set your feet on the ground and push up into your glute bridge. Take your arms straight up toward the sky and then flex your shoulder blades back and down. Open your elbows out and drop your elbows into the ground. So you're pushing your elbows into the ground, rolling the shoulders back so you feel flexion through the upper back. Now grab the core. Double check the pelvis. Make sure it's not over pushing. Now push into those feet and then pull back without moving your feet. Glutes and hamstrings should be on fire. Squeeze your knees toward one another a little bit. Double check the core. Contract, flex, hug those muscles to the bone. And then slowly release your hips down to the ground. All right, bring your knees into the chest. Roll them around counterclockwise. And then roll them around clockwise. All right, we're going to do another little fun headstand. I think we did the going through, what's it called? Crow last time? Crow or crane? Can't remember. This time we're going to go from a wide forward fold position. And if this is what we did last time, oh well, it'll be fun either way. All right, so I want you to bring your feet nice and wide. You are sideways on your mat, standing wide. A lot of this is just figuring out the positioning that you like for your body. So step number one, placement number one. Get your legs as wide as feels comfortable for you with your heels just a little wider than your toes. Plant your hands into the ground and then pull the hands back. So then you feel the traction through the core and the back. Grip your inner thighs, pull your kneecaps up. Okay, stay there if you would like and hold those isometric flexions there. Otherwise, you're going to bring the top of your head down to the ground and the hands will come behind you just a bit. Okay, now, again, grip in through the back, flex in through the core, flex in through those thighs. So that's option number two. If you would like, you can push into the hands, lift up off your feet, and go into a full headstand if you would like. Grip, grab, tighten, hold. Make sure you're using your hands, arms. One more breath. And then try to gently come back down the way you came, the way you went up. All right, perfect. Drop your knees in. Hinge back. Let's take our child's pose. Big toes together. Sit your hips back. All right, we're going to relax and rest and let everything recover. So drop your head onto the ground. Go ahead and lift your elbows up for me, though. Spread your fingertips wide. And we're going to take our deep breaths here. Perfect. Go ahead and push yourself up. Bring your right leg forward. Hinge forward so that you feel that back hip flexor stretch. The warrior and some of the other stuff that we did actually does help get into stretching and building flexibility. That's why yoga is so well known for really functional flexibility, is because you're actually flexing the muscle in between or as you're stretching them. And that's been shown to be extremely effective for quicker results in flexibility. So actually flexing and stretching, flexing and stretching. So something to be aware of. Drive your body back, pull the toes up. Drop your chest down toward the ground. Reach the chest toward the toes. Make sure that the leg is staying straight, the knees soft, you're not hyperextending it. And then let's get a pigeon. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten a pigeon. Cross that foot across. Make sure that you're flexed through the foot and the pelvis stays squared to the ground. Pigeon isn't for everyone, so if you need to lie on your back and get a figure four stretch, then that would be great. You can also use a box or a table to put your front leg up on, and that can also be extremely beneficial and helpful for all that this is stretching through the glute, the piriformis, which then relates into the back. All right, let's press into our hands and we'll flip it over to the other side. So left leg low, forward, your right leg's back. Find that hip flexor. Feel free to shift around or move around. This side I actually get popped a lot of times, depending, so kind of move around until I get that. How are you doing in your routines, your small wins? Something that you're doing every day that becomes a habit. It reinforces your subconscious system as well, that you can commit to a goal, that you do have willpower and discipline. So make sure that whatever it is that you're setting up as new goals or new habits to obtain, that you're setting up ones that you know that you can hit first. Start small, chunk it off one little piece at a time, and then hold small victories, small little celebrations for your victories, because they all add up. The small wins, I know, don't seem like they're going to deliver a lot of results, but if you start small and you can obtain those goals, it reinforces the behavior. Then you add another one and then another one. And guess what? The small wins definitely add up. Take that back leg back. Also celebrate yourself and be encouraged and proud of the fact that you complete a session each and every day. Most of us look forward to the results, to the feeling when it's done. It's not always easy to get started, but remember what it feels like to be finished. There's so many things in life that we don't expect to get a quick reward from, but for some reason we feel like exercise and diet, I hate that word, but watching what you eat should quickly deliver results. And it kind of works the same as everything else. It takes a little while, but the more consistent you are, it will add up. Try not to get discouraged when you're not seeing rapid results. It takes time. I'm not going to go buy a house off of your first paycheck, but that doesn't mean that you quit your job. Got to keep going back to work. Little by little, adds up. Same with the body. All right. Well done, everybody. Keep walking through life with a proud chest and a strong core, and I'll see you tomorrow.